Yep. Right, we're all ready?
Yep, we're
Thank you,
recording
Chair.
now,
The
Chair.
meeting is now started. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, welcome everyone to the meeting of the Public Protection Licensing Committee on Tuesday, 29th of April 2025. I will remind everyone present that this meeting will be live streamed as well as recorded via the internet, and this recording archived for future viewing. I will now move on to the agenda for today's meeting, which is item number 1, apologies for absence. I believe we have some apologies registered.
Yes, Chair, we have apologies for the leader, Councillor Burnett. We also have an apology tendered, unless he's managed to join us in the last moment or so, for Councillor Hamilton.
And Councillor Wilkinson as well, is it?
Lovely. Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you. Right. Item number 2 is the minutes of the meeting held on the 18th of March.
Chair, Councillor Hennessey's got his hand up.
Can
I give Vince Driscoll's apology in case he doesn't turn up as well, please?
Right, okay.
Noted.
Sorry, Councillor Hennessey, I didn't see your hand. Right. Item number 2 is the minutes of the meeting held on the 18th of March 2025. Does any member wish to raise any issues from these minutes? No. Therefore, I will move those as a true record. And can I have a seconder, please?
I'll happy to second.
Well, Councillor Hennessey put his hand up as well. Unless you want to raise anything in the minutes, Councillor Hennessey.
No, it was just a second.
Thank you very much. Right, item number 2 is to receive any declaration of interest and the nature of such interest under the Council's Code of Conduct. Does any member wish to make any declarations of interest? No? Right, therefore I'll move on to item 4, which is a report from the Director of Environment and Housing, which is an application to waive age policy guidelines for the licensing of a private hire vehicle. You will have all seen this and read the application for this Skoda, which in June this year will make the car being over 9 years old, which is obviously 3 years over our guidelines. So I'll hand over to our officer who's going to take us through this item.
Thank you, Chair. Kirsty Evans, Licensing Officer. So we have, yes, an application to waive the policy guidelines for, I can see the title of the report says private hire vehicle, but it is actually a Hackney carriage vehicle that we're looking at. So on the 21st of March 2025, Taxi for Rent submitted an application to renew their Hackney carriage vehicle, which is Hackney 59. However, as the vehicle licence had actually expired on the 12th of February, so just over a month over, they were unable to renew their licence, and instead the application was treated as a grant of a Hackney carriage vehicle licence. So this is why the application is before you today, because they didn't submit their renewal application on time. So the application details itself. So the car is a Skoda Superb, so KRZ 7694 is the registration number. It's a diesel. It was first registered on the 21st of June 2016. So in accordance with our age policy, a new vehicle, a new Hackney carriage going on should be under 6 years old. This vehicle at the time of the application was 8 years old and 8 months. The last MOT undertaken was on the 13th of August 2024, and the mileage was shown as 121,487 miles. It's a vehicle which has 4 passengers, and it's not an accessible vehicle. So a full copy of the application can be found in Appendix A of the report. So as mentioned, the vehicle falls outside the age policy because it's over 6 years old. That's why it's in front of us today. Taxi for Rent are unable to attend this meeting as they're away at the moment, but they have advised, they've provided some reasons why they submitted their application late. They said due to unforeseen engine problems. So they've advised that a new engine has been ordered and request that the licensing authority consider licensing the vehicle again. A full copy of their written request can be found in Appendix B of your application. Our enforcement officers took pictures of the vehicles, so you could have a look at it. So these can be found in Appendix C. They were unable to take pictures of the inside of the vehicle at the time because the keys weren't available. So the applicant has provided pictures of the interior, which can be found in Appendix D. There was some damage to the offside bonnet during the inspection, which is photo 8 of Appendix C of the application. So if members are minded to grant the application today, the vehicle will then proceed to testing at the Alps garage. A license would only be issued upon completion of a successful test. So members aren't asked to determine whether the vehicle is safe. That will be determined by the Alps garage. This is just to waive the age policy if members are minded. So moving to the recommendation, it's recommended that having regard to the report, the age policy guidelines adopted by the Public Protection Licensing Committee, which can be found in paragraphs, I think it's two, oh no, they're not in the report, sorry. And any representations made, so those are made in writing, that the committee can determine the application. Thank you.
Right, 2 members have got their hands up. The first one was Councillor Norman.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Kirsty. Do we know if these repairs have been carried out, A, the engine replaced, and B, the damage to the bonnet?
I don't know, but if you decide that you want to proceed, then it will go to testing at the Alps garage, and they wouldn't pass a successful test without fixing the damage.
Thank you.
So they would have to.
Yeah.
Councillor Bruce.
Good morning and thank you. My question, if we allow this person to come in with a vehicle over 6 years of age, will it start a floodline for every other vehicle? You know, if we've got a policy of 6 years, we should stick to 6 years.
It is possible. I mean, if we did have applications, outside the age policy, they would have to come before committee and for members to
Yeah.
decide. So each application would have to be judged on its own merits.
Okay, I understand that, and I mean some vehicles are going to have less mileage, etc., and less problems. But the thing is, will it open a floodgate? And that's the concern, isn't it?
Yeah.
So for me, I'm against allowing it. So I should just put my thought forward there.
Councillor Norman, you wish to raise something again?
Yes, please. Sorry, Chair. Kirsty, in Appendix A, the last item on the list, it says, are any other persons involved in keeping and employing this vehicle? And it's got yes. Please fill in the details below, and it's both been blacked out. Could you tell me why, please? You're muted, Kirsty.
You're muted.
Sorry. Those contain personal information, and because this is a public report, we've redacted the name and address.
I see. Thank you.
Anybody else wish to raise anything at the moment? I did a check-up on this particular vehicles, this Skoda Superb, and about a third of them have built between 2015 and 2023 have suffered faults of various different areas in the car. But the one thing that really worried me, the 1st of May 2016 to the 31st to the 11th 2016, the airbags and seat belts might not happen within a collision. You know, they might not trigger off. So that's a bit worrying, that is. I don't know whether anybody wants to come back on that. Councillor Morgan.
Morning, everybody. No, I think the difference here is this application is not a new application. It's a renewal where they made a slight error because of the faults with the car. Certainly the photographs of the car show it to look in very good order, but I know cars can look perfect but still not be in good order. But it's not enormously old. It's younger than my car, and I think if a vehicle is properly tested and fit for service, then let them continue. And on the basis Kirsty says it will be tested before it can be used on the road again. I wouldn't have any problems getting into that car if it turned up to pick me up. And I think it's perhaps not so much about age, but coming back to show that the vehicle is roadworthy. And if the testing station says it's roadworthy, and if in the normal course of events it would have been renewed, if it had been a renewal rather than a fresh application, perhaps we should exercise a little discretion here. Richard's coming in now, he's going to tell me I'm wrong.
Richard, we're over to you. Oh. Richard, you're blank at the moment there.
Sorry. No, I'm not going to tell Councillor Morgan that he's wrong. In fact, the age policy guideline is essentially there for people not introducing to the fleet very old vehicles. And as he points out, had this just been a renewal in time, it would have been granted. Now, when I've dealt with these on appeal in the Magistrates' Court, the district judge in the past has always been of the view, whilst we have a policy, he has to go to the primary legislation. And if the vehicle is mechanically fit to be on the road, then he places greater emphasis on the primary legislation and the vehicle being licensed rather than the age policy guideline. It's not a statutory, it's a policy that we have brought in, and essentially it was brought in to stop people purchasing very old vehicles and bringing them in to the fleet for the first time as a grant. So I can actually concur with what Councillor Morgan is saying, if that's it.
I don't know how long they've actually owned this vehicle. I couldn't actually see that. I don't know whether they bought it from new, because it's got a personal number plate, doesn't it? I don't know whether Kirsty can answer that question.
I'm afraid I don't have that information, and without the applicant here, I couldn't tell you at this time without seeing
No,
the
it was just a query, you know, so, yes. Right then. Oh, sorry. So, Councillor Franks has got his hand up. Right, Councillor Franks. Councillor Franks? Oh, he's gone.
Gone again.
Councillor Franks, we if you can still hear us, we weren't able to see your image or hear you, unfortunately. I can see that you may want to try again, though. If not, you may need to briefly try to leave and rejoin the meeting, please. Thanks.
Should we wait a bit for him to connect if he still wants to speak?
It may be worth, now that I've advised him to briefly leave and rejoin, if we could just give him one moment just to try and do that, Chair, if that's okay with you. Councillor Siviano.
Councillor Siviano, do you want to say something?
See, look, getting my mic. Sorry. I would agree with Councillor Morgan and agree with what Richard said. Given you know, it's renewal, I'd be minded to approve it, given it's going to go through all the safety checks following this. That's it.
Yeah. When it goes to safety checks, they will go through everything, won't they? I don't know how much a new engine is going to cost. It could be quite expensive. I don't know. They might feel it's not worth it. I don't know. because we don't know whether it's happened. Councillor Franks, you got your hand up again.
Hopefully, am I coming through loud?
Yes.
I'm sorry to have caused all this trouble. What I was saying is my question has been answered, so I don't want to. But it caused so much trouble. I'm sorry to committee. Goodbye.
No, as long as you're online, that's the main thing. Right then, members, what is our decision?
Well, I think listening to what people are saying, and I agree wholeheartedly with Michael. And if this was just a straightforward renewal, it wouldn't come to this committee now. But because of unforeseen circumstances, as long as a vehicle is considered roadworthy and safe for passengers, I mean, we've got a policy, yes, but we have discretion as well. And I think we, at times, and I can appreciate what Councillor Bruce is saying about opening the floodgate, but I think if each application is considered on merit, then it's up to us then as a committee to weed out the time wasters and no hopers and put forward then projects like this we think is worthy of being given a chance.
I agree with you. Councillor Hennessy.
Hiya. Yeah, I was not going to approve, but listening to everything and listening to what Richard has said and Michael, I'm more inclined to support it. Going to testing and let's see if everything passes. And on your question, how much a new engine will cost for a Skoda, it's about £3,500.
Ooh.
Because I just Googled it.
Well, they might be able to get it fixed. I don't know, but they did actually say they were going to purchase a new engine. So, yeah. So, anyway, are we all agreed? Because I, as Councillor Hennessy said, I was a bit dubious in the first instance, but listening to all this other information, I'm quite happy to go with that. And it'll be up to the Alps to investigate everything.
Yeah.
Are we all agreed with that?
Yeah.
Anybody against?
Yeah, I'm happy. Yes, agreed. Thank you.
Right, I can't see anybody putting their hand up to.
I was just going to say I couldn't see any hands at that point that would show any further dissent, Chair. I'm not sure if
Agreed.
There we go. Thanks.
Right then, so we're all agreed now that we'll pass this on to, well, whether they will take it up, we don't know yet, do we? Yeah.
Okay, Chair, so the committee's decision would be to agree to waive the age policy in this case?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
We'll see what happens next, isn't it? Yeah. Okay then, well now we move on. Item number 5 is any items the Chair has decided are urgent under Part 1. I have no issues or items to raise under Part 1. Item number 6 is any items which the Chair has decided to raise. I don't know what's the matter with me this morning. Any items which the Chair has decided are urgent under Part 2, and therefore you will see in the agenda we originally had 4 items on the agenda. But I believe the last one now has been
We will
removed.
move over to Part 2 now, Chair. So
yeah, I was going to say,
yes.
Therefore, we will move into Part 2 in order to proceed with these items. I'll wait for everything to switch off.
Lovely. Yes, if you could just give us a brief moment to make sure we can stop the live stream, and we'll let you know when that's been done, Chair. Okay. Thank you.